Hello everyone. Today's topic is to understand the 10 good principles given by Dieter Ram. So before moving ahead with the topic name, we must know who is Dieter Ram and what topics he has proposed. So Dieter Ram was a German industrial designer and academician. Dieter Ram has said one beautiful thing is that design is really an act of communication, which means having a deep understanding of the person. Now the question here, who is that person? So basically, a person is that the user. So being a designer, we are just communicating with the user, and we must understand what users are just communicating with us in terms of their feedback, in terms of their information or problem identification. Now comes to here, Ditterham has proposed 10 principles of good design. The first principle is good design is innovative. What does it mean? It means that your design principle or your design must be an innovative in nature. It should be original design, right? You can see the example here, one VR device. So if you are thinking about a product, try to be or try to make the product more innovative in original, right? Now let's talk about some second principle. The second principle is that good design makes a product useful. See, each and every product have their objective. So you just try to design a product which is going to fulfill their objective. That was the second principle. Now comes to the third principle, and what it says that good design is aesthetic. What does it mean? It means that you must try to design a beautiful product with a mixture of colors, right? Don't design a dull product, right? If you are designing any product, let's take an example of mobile phone. Try to keep the various variants in the design. That was the third principle. Now comes to the fourth principle. It says that good design makes a product understandable, right? What does it mean? Understandable product, it means your user must understand the project interface clearly so that they can use it very easily. Okay, that was the fourth principle. Now comes to the fifth principle, and it says that good design is unobtrusive. Unobtrusive, it means when you are using any products one function, the other function should not interfere. Let's take the example shown here. Like, this is the Swiss knife, and when we are using scissor, the filer cutter should not interfere the function of the scissor. Let's take another example of a mobile phone. When you are using mobile phone's camera, right? So mobile phone's music player should not interfere with that camera phone. Okay, so that was the fifth principle. Now comes to the next principle, that is good design is honest. It means that your design should not be copied from anyone else. Your design should not be copied from any places, right? You just involve your honesty to design an honest product. Then that was the sixth principle. Now comes to the seventh principle, and that is good design is long lasting. It means that try to design a product with a good material, right? Have a good design so that it will longer period for a last time, right? Try to design a product with a longer period of time so that it will have a good durability as well as the reliability. That was the seventh principle, and you can see the example like Hummer. If I'll talk about the other example, you just take an example of Matchbox, right? So people or the users are expecting quality from your product. So even what users are expecting, that your matchstick should burn properly for a longer period of time as well, right? So that was related to the seventh principle. Now comes to the eighth principle, and it says that good design is thorough down to the last detail. And if you are designing a product with the detailed plan, you will also have a good confidence on your product. So try to design with the product with the more and more details. Now comes to the ninth principle, and what is that? Good design is environmental friendly. So it means that you have to think about the future generation as well as the current generation. If you are designing an environmental friendly product, it means you are going to give the some kind of gift to the nature, right? So that your product should not hamper the other activity of the nature. Okay, So your product should be environmental friendly, your product should be sustainable. And the last principle, that good design is as little design as possible. Do not try to make a show off product. No, it is not at all required. Try to adopt the principle back to purity, back to simplicity. Okay, less but better. So try to design a product with as little design as possible. Your product will look aesthetic as well as the function will be sufficient. Thank you so much.